Good afternoon, Robert Scribbler here with the OBX wave report, filming from Barnes Street, looking north and east at what looks like a fun little sandbar. We've got, again, beautiful conditions today with warm temperatures in the lower 80s, light easterly winds, and 1 to 2 foot waves in the green Atlantic Ocean that is taking on the character of the Gulf Stream, which has been pushed closer to shore by those light to moderate easterly winds over the past few days. And I'm just going to turn the camera here and give you guys a view from our perch at Barnes Street. It's a beautiful day today. Ooh, pretty. All right, so let's get down into some of the local observations from various select sites on the Outer Banks. So right now here at Nag's Head, we've got 1 to 2 foot waves, semi-glassy conditions. Primary swell from the east at about 1.4 feet. That's a 10-second swell. Winds out of the east at around 4 to 6 miles per hour. Air temperatures in the range of 81 degrees Fahrenheit. Ocean water temperatures 80 degrees Fahrenheit. And then heading on down south to Rodanthe, we've got 2 foot waves, clean conditions. The primary swell coming out of the east at 1.6 feet. That is a 10-second swell. Winds out of the north-northwest at 2 miles per hour, very light. 82 degree Fahrenheit temperatures, 81 degree Fahrenheit ocean water temperatures. And then last of all at Buxton, we've got 2 foot glassy conditions with the primary swell out of the east at 1.6 feet as a 10-second swell. Winds out of the west-southwest at 6 miles per hour, lending to those glassy conditions. Air temperatures 84 degrees Fahrenheit, ocean water temperatures 82 degrees Fahrenheit. General weather across the Outer Banks, temperatures in the lower 80s, light easterly winds, relative humidity in around the 70 to 80% range. Got a slight chance of a thunderstorm or a shower later on this afternoon and evening. And just generally beautiful day with let's see, partly cloudy skies. All right, now let's get into the tropics a bit. I do have some news about Don that went extra tropical yesterday, and today is no longer being tracked by the National Hurricane Center. Don is just a memory, but we do have 2 tropical disturbances that are being tracked by the National Hurricane Center. The first is the right now crossing over the Windward Islands. This disturbance now only has a 10% chance of formation. The chances for this system forming have been dropping off over recent days. So we'll just have to see what happens to that. It might not be around for much longer if this trend continues. And we also do have a second disturbance near the Bahamas, and right now that system has a 20% chance of development. All this data provided by the National Hurricane Center. If you want to keep track of the tropics, I highly recommend checking out the National Hurricane Center. All right, so let's talk a little bit about general forecast trends for waves in the Outer Banks. So for today and throughout the afternoon, wave conditions are expected to steadily deteriorate as winds shift around to the south and strengthen, and we get choppier waters here in the Outer Banks with those south winds. And then tomorrow, waves are expected to be relatively small in the range of 1 or 1 to 2 feet in most locations, and more choppy conditions with the influence of those southerly winds. And then as we get into Thursday and Friday, a stronger swell is expected to develop, possibly in association with some offshore low pressure systems or coastal low. We'll have to just check to see how that works out, but nonetheless, building waves expected for Thursday, Friday, possibly Saturday. All right, so thank you for joining me for this session of the OBX Wave Report. And as I tend to do, I'd like to ask you guys to please do everything you can to help speed the transition to clean energy, which will protect our coastlines from the impacts of climate change driven by fossil fuel burning. Clean energy being wind, water, solar, and electric vehicles. These are the presently mass deployable forms of clean energy. Over time we might see some more develop, but right now these forms are very effective and very helpful at replacing harmful fossil fuel burning and reducing the impacts to our climate. The impacts to the coastlines being rising sea levels, more intense storms, and an unhealthy ocean driven by both ocean heating, which saps the oxygen from the ocean and creates all these nasty microbial blooms and just creates conditions where it's just not healthy to swim or surf in. And of course, ocean acidification, which harms our coral reefs and so many of the creatures that depend on it. One of those creatures being surfers. Coral reefs are very important for our breaks, but it's also important for the lives and livelihoods of so many of the nice animals that live in the ocean, and you know, so many of the people that also have economies and livelihoods based on the wealth provided by those coral reefs and the life there. All right, so thank you for joining me once again for this session of the OBX Wave Report. Going to get into the water for a quick surf session number 125 for me, and hope you guys get in the water today as well. Take care. Bye.